All right. Peace and blessings. Peace and blessings. All praises to the Most High. And we're going to skip the preliminaries, this videos, and get right into the proceedings. An eyewitness has come forth to confirm what I told you earlier this week, that Rodney Hinton was not the driver of the vehicle that killed the deputy in Cincinnati, Ohio. I want y'all to take a look at this right here. This is a Facebook post. And you see LaShawn Hankerson. And she is the eyewitness who saw it. You see her reply. I promise to God, I made a post and everything. The man was unconscious in the passenger seat, and it was an older lady driving. They kept asking who the driver was. She kept hysterically crying and falling out like she was in shock. She did that. They are trying to do that man in. I literally tried to get him out the car. He was stuck and not clean out, airbags out and all. And I'm going to show you another couple of posts from that same Facebook thread. Now, remember last week I told you that I received some inside information from a couple of sources that said there was a lady driving that vehicle that killed the deputy in Cincinnati after Rodney Hinton Jr. left the police department. Now, this post also pokes holes in the DA's, the police, the sheriff's theory in their timeline that they released to the public after indicting him on the charges and saying that they were going to seek the death penalty for our young brother. Now, after LaShawn made this post, the girl asked her, look, why don't you go down there and tell them what you saw? And this is her response. No love, Tila. If they aren't using cameras for evidence, they sure TF aren't going to listen to a black woman with a record. It was several of us right there that witnessed this ish. They didn't even care about the dude in the car. Me and one other lady was trying to help him. They didn't care about the black dude, only the officer. And again, I'm going to show you her original post. But remember, this happened supposedly by the University of Cincinnati during graduation time, whatever. And she made a valid point. If all of this happened, where are the cameras? Where are the stoplight cameras? Where are the cameras from the associated business or the business in close proximity? Where are the satellite cameras? All of these times that we see accidents and people running from the police and accidents at traffic stops and people running people over, there's always video footage. Why is there no video footage of this accident? Like, there is no coverage even after the accident. You know, when the ambulances are out there, only thing they are showing you is that still picture of the car and the crash. They are no showing you no ambulance footage, no getting people out of the cars. Think about it. This makes what my information given me totally true. Because once again, why are they not showing anything but a narrative? And this is the original post that the young lady put up. Now, I think this has since been taken down. She said, I was literally right there with my effing kids in the car, I assume, with me. I got out to help once I seen I could not do anything. I started crying, and this other lady was praying and grabbed my arm and wrist, and we both started praying while looking at the sheriff, and it was an old lady driving, not no dude. They are lying. This is sad. Now, this is her sharing the post of, that news post that highlighted the crash. Look at that. That's all we have seen. Now, mind you, this is probably from a video. This still shot is in the air. So this is probably from a video, a stop camera light, a satellite video. So why are they not, we have to ask ourselves, why are they not showing us any video proof of the accident? Now, she also corroborates. The other day, I think it was yesterday, I showed the video where the young brother, Rodney Hinton Jr., was walking into the police station. You see him getting out of the car. He's in a hospital gown. He's blurry. He's incoherent. He literally tells the officers, where am I? Where am I? And he's currently charged with something that he was literally a passerby passenger in the car. Now, also, this collaborates, or this proves that what they are saying in their newly released timeline, that they are lying, because it contradicts what they're saying, that what they've said at the beginning of the whole ordeal. Now, you remember the beginning, they told us that Rodney Hinton went to the police department. He watched the video. He got upset and left the building, and no one ever saw him until they got word of the crash. Now, go back and watch the original news articles about this. That is what they said. But this is what they said about 2 days ago when they indicted him for the charge. It says 9:33 a.m. Hinton arrived at the police department. 9:51, Hinton got upset and left the building. 10:37, Hinton left with family members instead of his own car, which he drove there. 12:41, which is about an hour and a half later, Hinton returned to pick up his car. Hinton left. Hinton returned to the police department and drove through the parking lot. How do you know that was Hinton driving, right? 12:50, Hinton left again and headed towards University of Cincinnati campus with his family following him the entire way. Now, mind you, once again, if you go back to the first videos of this incident, they said Hinton left the police department and nobody heard from him. Listen, like, one thing about a lie, you have to continuously change and keep up with the lie to make that lie outlive the truth. Apparently, this lie is not going to outlive the truth. Remember, they said Hinton left the meeting, was so distraught, and nobody ever heard from him since the time of this accident. But here they're telling you he left with a family member. He came back. He left again. He walked out distraught. He drove around the parking lot. He returned, left his car. He returned it. None of this was said before. You see how they are trying to create the narrative as they go. Pretty much, I'm white and I say so. This is what happened, regardless of how many people are saying. And once again, I'm going to show you the actual page. Look at this actual page now. And y'all see this. Let me see. I'm gonna minimize myself so y'all can see it in its entirety. Now, this is an actual Facebook page, Sean Hankerson. Now, it looks like she have deleted her page. But this is said, so they're covering up. Listen, I was literally right there with my child in the car. I got out to help once I seen I couldn't do anything. I started crying, and this other lady was praying and grabbed my arm and wrist. And we both started praying while looking at the sheriff, and it was an old lady driving, not no dude. They are lying. And here's somebody else referencing what she's saying. And look at his face. As she mentioned, the airbags hit him. Look at the top and the right side of his face. The airbags come out on the right side if you are on the passenger side. And so this is what I mean by the media lying and creating narratives. If this accident was so horrific, where is all the video footage of the ambulance on the scene, police on the scene, the white sheets, the yellow? None of that has occurred, right? Why are they hiding the actual footage from the scene? There is no coverage of this incident on the scene except the picture that you see everywhere, just a crash car. And it's the same thing that they are doing with Rodney Hinton Jr. They're stopping and stealing the frames. They're showing the picture. The only live footage that they're showing you is the officer running up right before he quote unquote shot out young brother. They're stealing the camera while the young boy's laying down the gun. Oh, this is where he stopped and tripped and he got back up and he picked up the gun. No, don't tell us what happened. Show us the video so we can determine that for ourselves. So this is breaking. Somebody just sent me this last night. You see, I'm out of my element, but I still had to do this because once again, they are trying to railroad my brother. And you can tell that they know. If you listen to that lady in the press conference the other day, that DA, she's just, he came and, he come and, even when they're trying to charge him with 2 counts of aggravated murder for the change charges, not 2 different counts like aggravated murder or involuntary manslaughter or murder in the first degree. No, they charge him with 2 counts of the same charge that means there are 2 deaths. And, according to the person I received, that lady who was allegedly driving the vehicle has since passed. But they are using our brother as a scapegoat, and that's why I believe that they have not put him under the jail. And I don't mean that figuratively. I mean that literally. That's why they haven't buried him under the jail for being the cause of one of their fellow officers' death. I think everybody knows that. Everybody knows, and you can tell in the press conference, they look at their eyes. Just look at their eyes and how soulless they are, because they are making and loving a lie. As Revelation 22:15 states, outside the city, outside the people of God, are murderers, fornicators, sorcerers, sorcery, witchcraft. This is what they're using to play with our mind. Dogs, and those who make it and love it a lie. So this, once again, shout out to LaShawn Hankerson. If you're watching this program, I know you see it. Feel free to call me. We can do an interview online, offline, faceless or faceless. But I think, since this has happened, you see, that it looks like, that page has been deactivated. Now, we all know how they neutralize witnesses. As I mentioned with the eyewitness that saw Ryan Hinton lay down the gun before he was shot, he said he called the police station and was like, hey, yeah, I saw what happened. He didn't have a gun. He laid the gun down. And they're trying to get him to come in and interrogate him like he had something to do with it. That's the way he said that they made him feel. And so since then, he was like, nah, I'm not coming down there. Who can I talk to besides y'all? Because once again, we know that the police lie. We know that they protect their own. We know that they create narratives. They plant guns. They create stories. They neutralize witnesses. This is not a conspiracy theory. This is history. This is documented history throughout time. They have covered up. They have lied. They have misrepresented reports. They have done all of these things. So this is another instance. Once again, we got to pray for our brother, because when you can see it in that, like, he doesn't know where he is. And according to this witness, once again, I'm going to show it to you again. I promised to God, I made a post. Everything, that man was unconscious in the passenger seat. Once again, why is there no camera footage of the after effects of the accident? Never in a million years you don't see any live footage of the accident. People walking around, people crying, oh my God, them talking to witness. I saw it come across the street. Where is all of that? Y'all take this information and do what you will with it. But as always, Ephesians 5:11, take no part in the works of darkness, rather expose them, for it's a shame to even speak of the things that they do in secret. Another scripture says, all things that are hidden shall be revealed, and all things done in secret shall be exposed on the mountaintop. This is what we plan to continue to do. As always, you see my number 919-587-7782. Peace and blessings.